Hey Siegers, today I wanted to bring you an aim guide. No, I have done one of these in the past for when I was on PS4, but since I have recently transferred onto PC, I wanted to give out a final one. Note, this will help for both PC and PS4, and I will first start off with just aim training and following up with sensitivity and things of the sort. On top, I have went and done some research to curve out any bias edges, find the best path for you, and create an overall quality video. These sources that I used will be in the description. First off, let's go over training your aim and reflexes. This part is going to depend on how much time you plan to put into training. Note, there are many pro players that will train their aim for 1 to 2 hours a couple days a week, if not the whole week itself. So in general, your training sessions should last at least 1 hour minimum, while doing a preparation every day that you don't train for about 15 minutes. The preparation is there just to push you for the day and bring you close to your top performance, while training should improve and push your performance to new levels. I've been doing this for a while and noticed a huge difference between myself not prepping and prepping. So, how do we train? There are multiple ways to train your aim, and you should incorporate all of the top ways to help balance you out overall. Going onward, I have arranged training into 3 levels. By the end of your training, you should be at level 3, while your prepping should be a variation of all levels. A couple things to note before I explain these levels: you must go through the terrace hunt as fast as possible and put yourself in dangerous positions as much as possible. It is okay if you die a lot at first, because trust me, you will. The reason you do this is to push yourself to the maximum extent. By forcing yourself into rooms, you make yourself have to quickly flick around killing enemies. This should overall push your aim, headshot rate, and reflexes. Next note is to play at either normal or hard difficulty. The only difference between the two is that hard will react faster and have a few more enemies. So if you're a complete noob when it comes to aim, I recommend normal. While if you're on a higher level, I recommend hard. Next, you must play a 3-speed. It doesn't matter which one, but a 3-speed will push enemies into your sight quicker, as well as making you less tanky. This simply pushes you to the max. Another note that helps some people is saying headshot when you get into a gunfight. This typically will help you rethink about going for the head to quickly end your enemy, but this tactic may not work for everyone. Another note is using full or semi-auto. Semi-auto will help you push your first shot accuracy, while full auto will help you recoil compensate and boost your overall accuracy after the first shot. So the option to use either one is up to you. Sometimes I will go a full round with only semi, while others I just stick to full. So the choice is yours. Also, do not restrict yourself to one map, as when you do, you will learn the enemy locations and simply flick in the same patterns. Playing multiple maps will keep you from locking down AI positions, giving you better training overall. Lastly, music may help in the genre of music as well. Most of the time, I go through my training listening to some lo-fi hip-hop. It simply keeps me calm and focuses me on my goal of obtaining better aim. Now that we are through the basics, let's get into the training levels. Level 1, Standard Play. This level is just going to include you running through Terrace Hunt on full auto. Simply rush through and popping corners and rooms however you like. Try to put yourself into some 1v3 situations whenever possible, as this will force a more flick-like motion onto yourself. This is simply used to help build you into your sensitivity. For controller users, this may be pretty difficult as you're restricted by your joystick. In any case, I recommend at least using 40 horizontal sensitivity and using your ADS parameter as your precision bound, while using your normal sense as your flick sense. This will also train you to not wall your analog sticks, giving you more precision overall. Note that your ADS sensitivity is a direct percentage of your normal sensitivity. 25 ADS and 100 horizontal sensitivity is the exact same as having an ADS sensitivity of 100 and 25 horizontal. Note, ACOG sights move at 2/3 the speed of a normal sight, so keep that in mind for your calculations as well. As for you PC users, your sensitivity is completely up to you. A heavier mouse will want a faster sensitivity, while a louder mouse will want a lower sensitivity. I recommend checking out some pro settings and finding what suits you best overall. On top, make sure you have mouse acceleration off. This will help you build your DPI based on distance moved rather than speed of movement. Distance is simply easier to use and get used to. Level 2, ADS only. This level is going to be you completely aim down sights. This is used to push out your control over your ADS and will help you determine what ADS speed you are accurate with for long and short range. During this stage, you will want to include instances where you are put straight into 1v3 for long and short range. Your long distance 1v3s will help to push out your snaps and focus you down more on accuracy. Most of these engagements should be pre-aimed, but be sure not to give yourself strafe kills where you only move your character to aim for you, which would be bad and result in little aim training. On the other hand, you have your short distance 1v3s that will result in you pushing out more flicks. This helps you to keep track of your mouse/joystick movement for enemies further left and right of you. This part in particular should be slightly harder and you may over-aim at first, but that is alright. An easy way to make sure you have your short distance sense down is to go ADS and tell yourself to flick 90, 180, 270, or even 360 degrees. This should be a short exercise that you can do during a prep phase or when just entering the building on terrace hunt. The closer you get from your thought degree to your actual flicked degree, the better. Note you can easily use the compass to make sure you got it down correctly as well. Level 3, Flicks only. This level will be used to train your snaps and flicks. Simply ADS and go through keeping enemies at or out of your sight and flicking onto their head really quick. When done correctly, it should look like a noted flick. But if you have trouble doing a noted flick, I would opt for doing subpar flicks. A subpar flick would just include you not moving your sight as fast or shooting more than once, if not both. A noted flick would be done quickly in under a second, while a subpar flick could take you about a whole second and have a slower motion when compared to the noted flick. This level is the final level and should be the hardest. Once you get to this level, you do not have to make every kill a flick, as you may find yourself dying every time you go up against a terrorist by doing so. An easy way to start this level is to start by only flicking onto a single opponent. Keep only one in sight, and if you still have trouble, make this one terrorist you flick on be a shotgunner and keep some range. If at that point you are still having trouble, just opt for running through with only single fire or tap fire, depending on your weapon. Now that we are through all the levels, how should your prep sessions include all of these levels? This will be dictated by you and where you are at upon prepping. Some days will be harder, some days easier. In most occasions, try to include all 3 levels into each terrace hunt to some degree. In most cases, I make my last enemy my flick shot while also making enemies like shotgunners that I'm in a one-on-one situation with another possible flick shot. On top, you could always use C4 nest as flick/snapshot training. Otherwise, try to push yourself into rooms and stay ADS when switching from one target to another. Another note is pre-aiming. Keep your aim and having it near your target. This will help you to see your target and get easy snaps onto the head. Your training does not end at T-Hunt. Note you can also bring your training into casual as well. Simply follow the same tips as above and play it out like it's training rather than a game. You may die faster, but the difference between casual and terrace hunt is the fact that people will or can have better angles and be in different positions, as the terrorists have very limited positions and typically leave themselves very open. By taking this training into casual, you train your game sense as well and will be able to quickly note some of the top used positions and what you may want to look out for. This helps for when you know a guy may be proning in said position or doing this and that. On top, it can help you train against the way people peek on you or people that drop shot you. Now we are finished with training, but what else can you do to help your aim? First off, is learning how to train your recoil. The easiest way to figure out your gun's recoil is to look at the recoil pattern given to you in the operator panel itself. This will show you how much bump there is between each shot and how narrow your recoil will be. On top, it shows whether the recoil pushes to your left or right. After seeing this, just counter it by going the opposite way. For a right and up gun, go left and down. For left and up, go right and down. It's as simple as that. For controllers, it may be a little bit more difficult as you have to find the exact point for perfect recoil compensation on your joystick. While on PC, you have to find the exact speed to pull back on your mouse. The easiest way is just to fire into a wall about 8 to 12 meters from you and guide yourself from there to make the disbursement of bullets as slight as possible. Second is attachments. This will very much depend on how you compensate. If you have trouble with vertical recoil, then go for flash hider. Trouble with horizontal recoil? Then go for compensator. Well, if you have trouble starting off your recoil compensation or started off a little late, I would go for the muzzle brake. Personally, my favorite is compensator on PC, as I have the most trouble with keeping straight recoil. While on console, I have an issue with starting my recoil reduction late, so I always opt for the muzzle brake while using a controller. But this is all preference, so find out where you fall short and set up for it. Next is the grip. Angled grip will help immensely if you find yourself having to aim down during a gunfight, while vertical grip will help with vertical recoil overall. So in this sense, if you have trouble with vertical recoil, always go for the vertical grip. While if you have no trouble, you can opt for the angled grip, and it's really up to you. Third is aim where you want to shoot. If you want to shoot the head, why would you aim for the feet? Note, most people pop corners while standing or crouching, or will pop once standing, then go to crouch. So good crosshair placement would include around the torso, and learning to snap up and down depending on your enemy. When you can tell that your enemy will peak at a certain height though, take advantage of it and have your crosshair already aimed at their head level. Otherwise, that's about it. I hope this helped you guys, and I'll see you around.